I'm testing the worst football stadiums in the world. From the worst team in FC26 to an abandoned football stadium. But let's start off with a 1-star football stadium. And I will be testing these stadiums on 5 things. The food, my seat, the view from my seat, the atmosphere, and how good the overall match was. But enough yapping, let's read the 1-star reviews on this stadium. David says, the pitch is slanted, it's like they're playing on a hill. Surely not. And Robert says that the food is poisoned. Wait. I have to buy the food. And finally, Marcus says that the stadium smells of cheese. I hate cheese. After getting in for only $10, which is quite cheap for a football match, I went to my seat, which was right beside the away team's ultras. And once I got to my seat, I realised that it was quite comfortable. I could sleep here, but I did not have much legroom at all, although the view made up for that. The view is amazing. I have front row seats. So I then settled down to watch the match for the first half, but it wasn't very exciting, as it was goalless. Maybe I will go to sleep after all. But anyway, once the first half finally ended and the players went into their very peculiar dressing rooms for a team talk, I went over to the shop to test the food. So the shop is right there. Let's go try some of the food. So I'm gonna let my mum try the coffee because I know that she loves coffee a lot.
Yes, I do. There's no coffee I don't like.
Just before she was about to try the coffee, the home team scored.
Ooh, that's not great. Warm and it's weak. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10?
Alright.
I've never tried coffee, but I'm gonna try it. Actually not bad. I quite like it. 5 out of 10. So the food definitely didn't poison me, but it was still disgusting. So technically, Robert's review is busted. So I then sat back down to watch the match, and I realised that the pitch was actually very slanted. Almost like it was on a hill. So that means that David's review is correct. Out of all the reviews, I did not expect that one to be correct. So it definitely doesn't smell like cheese, but I see where it's coming from. There's definitely a weird scent in the air. Smells more like ice cream. But the other team started to dominate. This is not looking good. And eventually they scored. And the away team ultras were making the atmosphere insane. The atmosphere is electric. But the match was starting to get physical. Someone needs to get a winner. And just moments after saying that, this happened. Yeah! It ended, the drama still wasn't quite over. For just a 1-star football stadium, that match was very entertaining, and the atmosphere was amazing. So overall, it goes away with 3.5 stars. But now, let's move on to an abandoned football stadium. This is an abandoned football stadium. But you may be wondering, why is it even abandoned in the first place? Well, the reason is actually quite sad. You see, back in 2017, the team that played in this stadium, Institute FC, had a perfect, well-kept stadium until there was a flood. This led to the stadium being left to sit for a while to let the water drain. But during this time, there was a fire in the stadium. This was very bad because at the time, the club could not afford to fix the stadium until they could get funds from the government to fix it. But those funds never came, and weeks turned into months, into years, as the stadium slowly decayed. And now the stadium is about to be demolished and gone forever. But now I'm here to discover the dark secrets of this football stadium. So straight after going in, I saw a strange man walking his dog outside the stadium, which was technically against the rules. But lads! And then soon after entering the stadium, I saw a pile of seats that people used to sit on. But with only one seat left, it was perfect for me, as I had infinite legroom. The seats were comfortable and nobody could disturb me. But the sad thing was that the stadium was in way worse condition than I expected, and it was even quite dangerous, with electric wires dangling from the roof. So after going through the walkout tunnel, I found my way to the away team's dressing room, which was completely unrecognizable from what a dressing room should look like. I then decided to head to the top of the stadium, which I quickly found out I could not get up by using the lift. Or elevator for my American viewers. Subscribe if you're American. Let's just take the stairs. Once I got to the top, I was very taken aback by the view of the stadium from up here. Wow. And how messy it really is. The view from up here is actually really good. This would have been a really good seat back in the day. And while I was up there, I spotted the commentator's box, which had been burnt down by a fire. And this was the kitchen. I wouldn't eat any food from here. After leaving the kitchen, I headed to the pitch, the place where I cook. Anyway, I then somehow found an old football and did this. Right, I think this is the goal. Let's see if I can score a goal. Yeah! I think the match has been cancelled, so I can't really give it a rating for that. Now, normally the subs bench is on the sideline, not this subs bench, as it was in the middle of the pitch. I wouldn't want to sit on the bench here. The dugout is quite literally a dugout. The atmosphere in this place is pretty dead. But the crazy thing is that the away team ultras at the One Star Football Stadium are actually the fans for this football club. Yes, that's right. The team playing at the game was Institute FC. But the sad reality is that they are always the away team. And personally, I think it's really unfair for any football team to have their home ground taken away from them. And now even demolished. And this is all down to how bad the funding that goes into football in Northern Ireland is. But anyway, now let's move on to the worst rated team in FC 26. Wait, guys, I'm stuck! But now it's time to test the worst football team in the whole of FC 26. Liverpool are 5 stars in FC 26, but Dundalk United, the team I'm going to watch, aren't even a full star. Yes, that's right, they're half a star. Their best player has a rating of just 61. Even I have a better rating than that. But just as I did with One Star Football Stadium and Abandoned Football Stadium, I will be giving them my own rating. But will it be better or even worse? So after walking in, I went straight to the stand my seat was in to go and check it out. And it was very comfortable, earning them a full star already for the seats. But the view was very interesting because on one hand I had a very good view of the pitch, but on the other there was a massive wall in my way, blocking almost half the pitch, so the view gets half a star. But with the match starting, it was time to get comfortable. This is a perfect footrest. Which started really well, with Dundalk scoring the opener after only 15 minutes. The atmosphere is so good. And then scoring again almost immediately. And as I was watching the game, I spotted this advertisement on the side of the pitch, which gave me an idea. It's nearly half time and they're 2-0 up, so it's time to go and get food. So I ended up getting chips. Let's try them out. The food's terrible, 3 out of 10. But overall, the food was awful. This has put me off fries, and even I didn't know that was possible. In the second half, Dundalk went on to add another goal, but conceded a goal near the end. Dundalk winning the match 3-1 was very entertaining, which means they get a massive 4.5 stars. Subscribe!